Thanks for tuning in to watch my video. Today we're going to take a look at circles, and for the outline for today I just put together one of the circle commands. We're actually going to be taking a look at 6 different ways to make circles in AutoCAD, and the most common one is the center diameter circle. So here's the steps involved in creating a center diameter circle. First step, we set our drawing aids. Second one, we set our current layer. Third one, we start the center diameter circle command. Fourth is we click or enter coordinates for the center point, and then number 5, we type in the diameter for the circle that we're creating. So the most common mistake that I see in regard to circles in AutoCAD is that people use the radius rather than the diameter to make a circle. Okay, and so I put this together to hopefully show you and try to help explain the difference between radius and diameter. And so the second circle that we're going to create today will be our center diameter circle. And so diameter, it's going to be the distance all the way across your circle. So it'd be a line drawn completely across the circle at its largest point. So that's going to be your diameter. Your radius goes from the center of the circle to the edge of the circle. And so just as you're creating circles in AutoCAD, keep those differences in mind. Write down if you have to. Radius is from the center to the edge. Diameter is all the way across. Alright, so to take a look at these different circle commands, and I've got them all listed out here. We've got center radius, center diameter, 2-point, 3-point, tangent, tangent radius, and tangent, tangent, tangent. To make these, we're all going to start with just a simple rectangle. And so just want you to draw a rectangle that's 8 inches long by 4 inches wide. And so to do that, I would start my line command, just pick any random point to start from, and then just like what we were looking at the other day, is let's just go ahead and draw this. And so the format for that would be 8, tab, and 0, hit enter. Move your cursor to approximately the direction you want to draw. It'll be 4, tab, 90, hit enter. Move your cursor in approximately the direction you want to draw. It'll be 8, tab, 180 degrees, hit enter, and then click on close down your command line to close back to the original spot. Alright, so now that we have a rectangle drawn, we're going to create our first circle. And so of these 6 different options that we have for creating circles, it's all based on what input that you have to give to AutoCAD. So for instance, if you're going to use the center radius, you should already have the center marked so that you can choose the center point and then specify the radius. Same thing with your 2-point. If you're going to use the 2-point circle, you should have each side of the circle to where you can click on those. And so the first thing here is to use our center radius, we're going to have to know where the center's at. And so since we're just getting started in AutoCAD, we're just going to draw some more lines, and then the end of the line is going to represent the end point, or it's going to represent the center point of our circle. So let's go ahead and come on down here. First thing is let's set some drawing aids. So come down along the bottom, and we're going to make sure everything's turned off except dynamic input and hardware acceleration. And then to do this, we're going to have to use another drawing aid. We're going to talk about this drawing aid in a lot more detail later, but it's the Object Snap drawing aid. So it's this little square. If you click on the little arrow off next to it, you'll get this option for Object Snap settings. Go ahead and click on Object Snap settings. It'll open up this dialog box, and we just want to turn a few of these on. We don't want to turn them all on. We want to turn a few of them on so we can control what we're clicking on. And so we want endpoint, center, and quadrant. So turn those 3 on just by clicking in the little box and then hit OK. And once you've done that, you need to actually click on the drawing aid itself so it shows up in blue to make sure it's turned on. And once you've got that, you can go ahead and type L for line to run the line command. And it's going to say specify first point. So we want to mark the center point for this. So when we hover over the lower left hand corner, we get a little green box now. That's our endpoint object snap. We want to click in that spot and then just move your cursor in approximately the direction you want to draw. And we want to go halfway, so that would be 4, tab, 0, hit enter, and then move straight up. And we want to go halfway again, so that would be 2, tab, 90, and hit enter. And now just hit enter again to cancel out the command. So that's going to be the center point for our circle, and then we've got our radius down here at being 0.75. So we'll go ahead and come up to our draw panel, click on circle, expand it out. There's your 6 options. So first thing, center radius. Go ahead and click on center radius. Look down in the command line, it says specify center point for circle. So we're just going to click on the end point of the line that we drew. So when you hover over it, you'll get a little green box. Go ahead and left click there. And then just move out and type in 0.75 and hit enter. And that's your center radius. To check that, to see if you did it correctly, see if you did it right, there's this measure utility here on the home tab, kind of over towards the end. If you click on measure there, you can just go right to distance, come over to your circle, and you'll have quadrants. So the quadrant object snap is the diamond shaped green box. So just click on one quadrant, move straight over, click on another quadrant, and if you did it right, your distance will be 1.5 because your distance is going to be 2 times your radius. So you can double check that. Alright, so now let's go ahead and take a look at our center diameter. So we'll just reuse this box that we drew. And so we need to get rid of our circle. So if you just go ahead and click directly on the circle and then just go to your keyboard and use your delete key off your keyboard, that'll delete your circle. Now we're ready for our center diameter. So just come on up to the ribbon, click on center diameter. AutoCAD prompts you for the center point of the circle. So click on that same center point that we used just a minute ago. Then it prompts you for diameter of circle, and just go ahead and type that in. We're going to use 0.75, hit enter, and you'll see this time we end up with a circle half the size we did before. And again, you can go ahead and check your work. Go ahead and use measure distance, and you're going to go from one quadrant and then go straight over and click on the other quadrant. That's going to tell you that the diameter for that circle is 0.75. Then you can go ahead and hit enter to get out of that command. And then hit escape a couple times. Go ahead and cancel that out. Alright, so that's the center diameter. Next one here is our 2 point. And so let's go ahead and click on that little circle that we just created. So click on it. Once you have it selected, just go to your keyboard and hit your delete key on your keyboard. That'll get rid of it. We're done with our 2 construction lines here, and so we'll go ahead and delete those as well. I'll just click a point off to the left of my rectangle and then just come down below my rectangle and to the right. Select that, it selects my 2 lines, and just go ahead and hit delete on my keyboard. Alright, so now the 2 point. Come back up to circle, click on 2 point, and 2 point, what AutoCAD wants is it wants you to click on 2 points that represents the diameter. So you're clicking on 2 quadrants of the circle, you're clicking on the 2 points of your diameter. So when I click on my upper end point on this rectangle, come down and click on my end point directly below that, it's going to draw a circle between those 2, and the 2 points that I selected, that was along my diameter. So that's your 2 point circle. Alright, so then we move on to our 3 point. So we'll go ahead and erase that. So just click on the circle and hit delete. And so now we're ready for our 3 point circle. And so our 3 point circle, we just need to have any 3 points on the circumference of the circle. So it doesn't have to be along the diameter. It just has to be any 3 points on the circle itself. And so let's just go ahead and draw a couple more lines here. I'm going to do the line command, and I'm going to draw a line from the upper left endpoint. So I'm going to click that point right there. I'm just going to move my cursor straight to the right, and I'm going to come halfway over, so that would be 4, and then hit tab and 0 and hit enter. Come straight up a distance of 4, tab, 90, and hit enter. And then I'm just going to draw that line back to my original endpoint. Once I've done that, I'm going to hit enter to cancel the command. Down in my command line, nothing is active. I'm just going to go ahead and hit enter again to rerun that command. I'm going to pick up my endpoint and draw a line from that endpoint to the endpoint on the other side. And now I've got my 3 points to draw my 3-point circle. So I'll come up here to my 3-point circle command. It asks me for my first point on the circle. So I'm just going to say, here's my first point, second point on the circle. Just going to move around, second point, click there. And then it asks me for my third point. I'll just come on over here. And once I get that little green box, I'll click there. And so that was my 3 points along the circle, and you'll see exactly where I clicked. All 3 of those points are touching the points that I was clicking on. So you're specifying 3 points of the circle that the circle is going to go through. Alright, the last couple here, we've got tangent, tangent, radius. So just come on over here to just some open space in your drawing. And we're going to use the center diameter command first. So I'm going to do center diameter, just click some random point for my center point. My diameter is going to be 4, so I'll just type a 4 here. And then I'm going to do that same thing again, do another center diameter circle. This one I'm going to start at the center of my first one. So if I kind of hover over the outside of my circle, I'll wake up the center point, and I can move over it, and where I get that little circle, I can click there. Diameter for this one's 8, and after I get that created, now I'm going to move it. And so come up here, click on the move command. It asks me what do I want to move. I'm just going to select this second circle that I drew. So click directly on it, hit enter to say I'm done selecting objects. Just come to some spot where you've got some open space and click a point there, move to the right, and we want to do 7, and then hit tab in the 0 degrees and hit enter, and that creates our 2 circles. Now we're ready to try our tangent, tangent, radius. So come on up to your circle command, click on tangent, tangent, radius. AutoCAD prompts me for first tangent circle. So I've got tangent, my second tangent right there, and then just type in your radius. I'll type in a radius of 1, and I end up with my circle that's tangent to both of those. So what tangent means is it's the one point that these 2 circles are going to have in common. So the circles aren't going to overlap. They're going to have one point in common, and that one point is exactly where it's tangent. And so that's the same on both of those. Alright, then for our last one, we're going to do the line command. Just click some random point to start from. Move off to the right and move up a little bit so you're above 0 degrees. And type in 10, do tab 20, then move straight up. And we're going to do a distance of 4, hit tab 90, and hit enter. And then move over and to the left and do 10, tab of 160, and hit enter. And then this is our last circle command, so that's going to be our tangent, tangent, tangent. So start it up, come over here, click tangent, your second tangent, and then your third tangent. From that you get your circle to all come out. So that's all of our different circle commands, and the most important one, the one you're going to use most frequently, is going to be the center diameter. And so again, your steps for creating the center diameter circle: you set your drawing aids, you set your current layer, start the center diameter circle command, click the center point of the circle or enter your coordinates, and then just simply type in the diameter of the circle. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've learned lots, and good luck drawing circles in AutoCAD.